Kia ora, good morning. So I woke up just before midnight, somewhere around 11ish something, and I see that all hell has broken loose in America. So the cleansing is here. We are in the throes of the tearing down of the old world. This is everything that I have been predicting since the 90s playing out in real time. And on one hand, it's good because it's everything I said that was coming, and it means that the LA riots meets V for Vendetta. Like, it's everything that I said in the 90s, it's everything that I said was coming, playing out, which is good because it means that darkness has been exposed, darkness has been revealed, and the morality of world leaders is being put to the test. And we are witnessing in real time the ethics and morals of everyone who leads a company, everyone who leads a country, everyone who leads an empire. We're seeing where their morals and ethics lie, which is the true meaning for this holy war. But then on the other hand, we're also having to sit back and watch so many innocent people suffer as a result. And while it's a good thing that it appears Netanyahu's dead, and we're watching Israel get wiped off the face of the earth, it's bad, and the fact that it's coming at the hands of so many innocent Israeli people. It's not fair in any kind of war when it's the innocent people who suffer more than the guilty. And I know that this is karma for for Gaza. I know this is karma. We all know this is karma. But it's not easy to watch because at the end of the day, it's animals that are getting killed. It's innocent Jews. It's innocent Muslims. It's innocent Christians. It's innocent people. It's the innocent people who would rather just be sitting at home, enjoying their families, going to work, living their life, that are being martyred for a very evil cause. But the thing is, Iran's the only country that can deal with it. God chose them to be the ones to deal with it. And my God, are they dealing with it. But I know people are scared. I know we're being threatened with social media lockdowns, clampdowns, loss of accounts, all that sort of thing. But it's not going to stop the people because now the truth has come out about why this war was started and the people involved on both sides. It's not going to stop people from hammering the truth to get out because it's already reaching mainstream media. It's already reaching criminal courts. There's nothing that Donald Trump can do to stop what's coming. There's nothing Keir Starmer can stop to do. There's nothing Keir Starmer can do to stop what's coming. There's nothing Macron can do to stop what's coming. They've been exposed. They've exposed themselves. And this is exactly what I've been saying from day one. When the poop hits the fan and the cleansing begins, it's to expose those who work for the devil. This has to happen in order to expose who the good people are and who the bad people are. And I have to tell you, as someone who has been waiting for this to happen since the 90s, it has fascinated me as to who is standing up against America and who's taking their side. In my 53 years of living, I have never seen so many countries unite together to come up against America and its leader, Donald Trump. I've never seen so many countries stand together and band together to hammer a president before. It's like everyone's eyes are right on Donald Trump. And it's starting to happen here in the UK. Eyes are starting to turn to Keir Starmer. Musk has been hammered for his the way that he's clamping down on free speech. It's happening on Instagram, it's happening on X. But it's revealing, because the thing is, remember he was giving it out about free speech, and people were saying, poor Elon Musk, he's been hammered for free speech and blah, blah, blah. And then this happened, and people are like, oh, so you weren't about free speech. They're literally burning books in Florida to do with Hispanic, Arab, Indigenous history. And people are saying we are literally watching America turn into Nazi Germany. And they are. But what you need to know is this does not lead to a World War III. This leads to America and Israel, and to a lesser extent Great Britain, getting their ass kicked. But it needs to happen. And then what happens is everything gets cleared away, all the debris, everything gets cleared away, all the people responsible get dragged off to The Hague, and it's already starting to happen. The recommendations have already started coming in that Donald Trump and Netanyahu, although it's pretty certain he's dead, and Keir Starmer and Macron and that, they're all going to get dragged off to The Hague. And then we get to tear everything down and start again. Israel will get to start again. I'm pretty sure what God was talking about in the Bible, everything God's been talking about with Israel being wiped off the map, is the state of Israel, how it is currently. With the olive trees being planted all around Israel and Palestine, I'm pretty sure they start again from a moral standpoint. I've been watching and observing, trying to figure out where this is going for the New Jerusalem and the New Holy Land and things like that. And because how do I put this? I think it was supposed to go to Russia, but he started doing business with America after God told him not to. So I was like, okay, so what's going to happen to the New Jerusalem? Who gets the New Holy Land? And then because of all these dreams I've been having and all these codes I've been having, it's like, does the Holy Land stay in Israel and Palestine? But they just start again. And that's where I'm wondering where it's going, because it looks like the new Prime Minister of Israel, the first thing he wants to do is have a ceasefire with Iran, so completely stop it, whereas Netanyahu wanted to carry this on for as long as he could. So I'm already seeing olive trees been planted in Israel, metaphorically speaking. But it's like it was built on a faulty foundation anyway. Like the Trump administration and the Labour government, they were all built on faulty foundations that need to be torn down so that all the debris of the foundations of evil can be torn down so that everyone can start again. Because what I can tell you from everything I've been saying from day one is that the world gets divided between good and evil, and those that are seen on the side of evil, according to the Lord, those who are seen on the side of evil, they get removed from history. They get wiped from history. And everybody who took the side of morality and righteousness and justice and ethics go into the new world where we get to start all over again. But because history has been repeating itself for so long, for so many centuries, we needed this to happen so that there would be a wake-up call. The world needs to wake up to make better choices about who we elect and who we allow to tell us what to do. We have sat back for so many decades and let these people tell us, you will do this, you will do that, you will, you will, you will. And then these files dropped and people saw the extent of what Epstein had his fingers in, from vaccines to wars to genetics and AI and banking and all that, that people are like, whoa, hang on a minute, you know. And now they're demanding change, and now they're saying, no, we're not doing this anymore. And even though these governments are doubling down, and we are not going to allow protests, we are not going to allow this, and you will have the digital IDs, and you will do this, and you will do that, it's pushing the people to the brink of no return. Because now they're seeing that these governments that are saying you will do this and blah, 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 they're seeing that they're going to war to protect their cult that are putting kids' faces on lamps and spit roasting human bodies to enjoy a barbecue. And they're like, you're telling me that I have to do this, and you're eating human flesh and you're doing that to children, sort of thing. And it's like, as hard as what it is and as heartbreaking as what it is, that so many Muslims and Christians and Jews are being slaughtered. They're being, it's horrible to watch. I'm watching this stuff going on in Israel, and after having watched all the stuff in Palestine and that, and it, like, I'm trying so hard not to cry, hearing all the people scream, but it's karma, and it's utterly heartbreaking. We're watching hell on earth, but it had to get to this point because the entire world was complacent. While they were lulling us and easing our minds and making us lazy with things like, the next thing to buy and the next thing to consume, and filling our bodies with sugar and artificial sweeteners and fake food and all of that, we were allowing this stuff to go on behind the scenes because they were redirecting our attention to make sure we could never see what they were doing behind closed doors. But the one thing I'm going to tell you is, after this is over, the way governments are run after this will not be the same at all. How governments are run once Trump is taken down, and what I promise you is that it's like I have been saying since I wrote the books. When Jeb, which I'm pretty sure is Netanyahu, when he's killed, and the slime queen, which I'm pretty sure is Trump, is taken down. Well, when the Dark One falls, someone else tries to take his place, which is Trump, because it appears that Netanyahu's dead. Trump has now doubled down, and he's like this, and this. Well, when he gets taken down, everyone backs off because they know if they don't toe the line, they're next. But they back off to the Shadowlands, and the Shadowlands is the underworld. Well, purgatory before the underworld. And what I wrote was, because I'm trying to figure it all out, as I'm watching everything play out, I'm trying to figure out the codes that I left myself in correlation to everything that the Lord has said. And it looks like Netanyahu dies, then Trump, and then, well, Netanyahu dies, Trump tries to lead everything and does it really badly, which is what's happening now. And then he gets torn to bits, and then everybody else retreats to the Shadowlands. But the Shadowlands is purgatory, and purgatory is where you wait before you go for judgment, which means that everybody else involved in all of this, who retreats, who backs off, and lets Netanyahu and Trump take the fall, end up in the courts. Because what I wrote was, and this is what's in Revelations as well, what I wrote is that they all go back to the Shadowlands, and the Shadowlands is purgatory. And purgatory is where you go before you wait to be judged. And then once you're judged, you decide whether you're allowed to go to heaven or hell. So it means that countries like France and the United Kingdom, all the countries that are taking sides with Trump and Netanyahu, end up in The Hague. And it's already starting to happen. Keir Starmer and David Lammy, I know, are already under investigation for the Gaza thing anyway, but now that they've stepped in to do this, the bombing of the schools and all of that, it's going to turn into a recommendation for a trial at The Hague for them, just like it is currently with Trump and Netanyahu. So it's all going exactly how I said it was going to go, how I wrote it, and how God, remember in the book of Revelations, and the dead shall be judged. This is it. The dead are being judged. And it's just, it's devastating to watch, but it's like not a necessary evil, but it kind of is, but not in the true sense of the word, but it has to happen. Evil had to be exposed. It's like, when it rains, the worms come up. In order for the worms to be exposed, God had to break open the clouds and make it rain. But in this case, it's missiles and bombs. It had to rain missiles and bombs for the worms to rear up, for the worms to rise, so that we can see who they are. And they are being exposed by who's censoring the media, who's censoring social media. There's stuff going around Instagram claiming everything's AI when it's not. The AI apps themselves are saying that the stuff is not AI, that it's not AI generated, but they're trying to really, really push this narrative of fake news, fake news, fake news. But the AI apps themselves are saying it's not fake news. People are having their account. I've been threatened. I'm threatened constantly with stuff that they're saying is fake news that's not fake news, but it's coming from all the sides like von der Leyen and that, who are terrified of being exposed. But it has to happen. But the thing is, I'm getting a clear message from Father now, and from all my dreams, that my fight in this war is over. And I can stop posting this stuff anyway, because now everybody else, like the Polish lady said, it's not my fight anymore. Everybody else is taking over for me. I can sit back now and just focus on going to Switzerland and being with the man of my dreams, going to that beautiful man that's waiting for me under the tree, and just focusing on building my school. Switzerland is letting me know under no certain terms we're making way for our country to be a safe space for these children. They're standing up, they're saying Iran's got to stop picking on Iran, and they keep out of everything, but even they've been pushed too far. The EU have taken a massive vote to vote against the mass surveillance of its civilians. So they're all starting to turn on Palantir, and who are like the new CIA. Like everybody, like even politicians and that are all starting to say no. Like enough is enough. And it's fascinating to watch, because it's almost like Trump was the final piece of the puzzle to tear the house down. It's like the book of Revelation, history, the prophecies, the ancient ones and more modern ones, had to wait for Donald Trump to be put into power in order for the house of cards to fall, because he was the tipping point. And then God was waiting to see how Starmer would react. And he messed up real bad. He had the potential to make Britain something beautiful. And none of anything he was involved in would have been exposed if he'd done the right thing by the people of Great Britain. Same with America. Donald Trump would not have been exposed had he have done the right thing by America. But because he didn't, he was the tipping point. And now the rest of the world is standing up and saying enough is enough. We're done, we've had it. When you're putting kids' faces on lamps and spit roasting human beings, because the horrible thing is, what a lot of people need to understand is that, see, when their loved ones go missing off the face of the earth and they haven't been able to find any trace of them, it's more than likely that's where they've gone. But what it means is that they're going to bring in all new laws and rules in regards to what politicians and their administrations and that are allowed to have access to, where they get the money from. There'll be full disclosure laws where you'll be able to watch every penny that comes out of their banks. Anyone that wants to do business, like, they're going to have to be legitimate. All new laws, all new structures are going to be put in place across the world, so that these things like with the EU and America and Israel and that can never happen again. And, like, this goes for the Arab countries as well. I think everything that's happening right now has absolutely scared the shit out of countries like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. It's pulling people into line to say this is what's going to happen if you don't sort your crap out. Because now the Middle East, like Qatar and Dubai, like they're all the shit that they've seen Trump and that drag them into, and now they're pissed. And now they're all pulling back their money and pulling back all their business deals. They're literally, the rest of the world is banding together to expose America for being the instigator of all this hell that's been breaking out on earth, while Israel's been sitting behind the scenes pulling the strings. America's the one that's been fully exposed. And now every single person on the planet has all their eyes on Trump, and he's the one that is solely getting the blame for it. Because now that it appears that Netanyahu's dead, all this stuff that's coming out about his giving talks and that they're saying it's all AI generated. Trump's taking the full brunt of this. Hang on, I'm just going to have a drink of water. I was dead to the world and then I woke up watching America on fire. It's everything I said. Everybody of every colour, every race, every creed is standing together and saying no more. And I said that starts in America, goes around the world and ends in the UK. So once the civil war starts here, once the civil unrest starts here, that's when you know it's finally going to be over. And then they're all going to get dragged off to the courts for war crimes. I know there's at least 6 or 7 if you include Starmer, that get arrested within the Labour government, because I keep seeing them in handcuffs. I keep seeing Starmer in handcuffs. Musk ends up in handcuffs. Trump in the ground. The Clintons, although Bill doesn't survive. Gates, von der Leyen, like they all end up at The Hague. Because people have had enough. I have been threatened with everything, losing my social media, losing my money, losing, like, being deported. Every day I'm threatened with something different. But then the Polish lady in the dream, I don't know why Polish, but there we go. She said, you don't have to do anything now. Everybody else is taking over this fight for you. So all I'm going to do now from this point on is just focus on my future and get into that beautiful man. I want to tell you about this man, the man in my dreams that I've been fighting to get to since I was 4 or 5 years old, my safe space. This is a man who loves me so much that without even having any known physical contact with him, the love that he has for me elevates me on a level where I don't even feel like my feet are touching the ground. I'm just being pulled to him. He's pulling me to him. The same way that the moon pulls the tide, and I can't stop it. And I don't want to stop it. And I look at his face, and all I see is the beauty of home and the beauty of peace and the beauty of serenity. That's what it is. Since he came into my heart, he brings me serenity. He brings me peace. And I bring him hope. I bring him clarity. I bring him healing. And that's what we bring to each other. I've never had love like this before. And I know he hasn't. Because he's trying to figure out what he's feeling. He's trying to analyse, what is this feeling? Why am I, how are you making me feel like this? What is this feeling that I'm feeling? How are you doing this to me? Is it magic? Like, remember in Becoming Spellbound, when he was convinced that she'd put a magic spell on him because he couldn't understand what he was feeling, so he accused her of being a witch. And people were saying, she's put a spell on you, she's cast magic on you. And remember, he says in the script, you're a succubus. Yeah, that's right. I looked it up, and she's like, it's not magic, it's love. You're in love. You've Have you never been in love before? And he can't wrap his head around it. Because it's like, what is this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I suddenly feeling like I want to have babies and build a house and have a farm and plant flowers and have cows and horses and chickens and that? Like, where the hell is this coming from? Because this is what she wants. Has she put a spell on me to force me to want to have the same things as her? And it's like, no. It's because she's your heart's desire, and your heart's desire is to have a house and a farm and a family and a garden and, that sort of thing. Because you've met your match, and she's making you do work on yourself, and she's making you heal yourself. That's what love is. You have that push-pull effect on each other. You go through the worst together. You see the best in each other. You survive everything that's thrown at you. And even if distance and time keeps you apart, there's still that thread that keeps you together, that is like an unbreakable thread. And that's what he's just starting to figure out. I've never spoken to this man on the phone. I've never looked him in the eye, face to face. I don't know his touch. I don't know his smell or anything like that, but I know everything about him because I've been trying to find him since I was a little girl, because he's the one man in the world that makes me feel safe. Because he's loyal. Because he's faithful. Because he wouldn't dream of doing anything to lose me. Because he doesn't feel alive without me. And he's my shadow because he's the moon. And I'm his shadow because I'm the sun. And together we're the X and Y of the universe. And vision is nothing without two eyes. And it's like we're visionaries together. And he's my best friend. He's like, he's real with me and I'm honest with him. But it's to bring the best out of each other. It's almost like we've had to hammer out the kinks of each other. We've forced each other to do dark shadow healing, because we want to make sure that when we do finally meet in real life, all the toxicity's been purged from us so that we come into this relationship without any baggage. Those kind of relationships don't exist. I'm sure of it, until him and I. Which means my dating app my algorithm for my dating app is 100% spot on, because is that whole point of my dating app, Spellbound, is that you do the work on yourself before you meet, so there is no baggage and you're not transferring any past relationship wounds onto your one of a kind. Use magic to find that one of a kind. But it's not spells, it's not casting and conjuring magic, it's the magic of truth and honesty and true love. True love, when you find it, is pure and utter magic, because it transforms everything about your life. You're never the same person again. Whenever I think about him, I just see us laughing all the time, holding hands, holding each other, just hugging, laughing, talking for hours and hours and hours on end, just looking out under the stars and sitting and just supportive of each other's careers, supportive of each other's talents and gifts, and it's not just that whole cliche of being soulmates and best friends and lovers. It's like we're one person. We're two halves of one whole. And he's waiting for me under the tree across that meadow. And now I get to walk away and leave everybody else to fight in the background. So I'm not going to be posting any more Epstein stuff. I'm not going to be posting any more prophecy stuff. I'm done. I'm done with it all. I'm finished. I don't need to do it anymore. Other people have started picking up the fight for me. So now I can just focus on my school. And as soon as I'm able to get broadband in there, I'm going to take everything off my social media. I'm going to shut it all down, and I'm only going to be posting stuff about the school. So from now on, I'm only going to be posting TV show ideas and concepts and products, and I'm stepping over that line now. He's drawing me to want to step over that line and focus on where I'm going, and where I'm going is where he is. And together we're going to build this foundation, and we're going to take all these children who are not being seen, not being heard, not being respected, being silenced and kept down and medicated, underappreciated, undervalued, neglected, ignored, taken advantage of, misdiagnosed, wrongly diagnosed, misdiagnosed, diagnosed with things they don't even deserve to be diagnosed with. We're going to be taking all these kids and putting them in the scar and letting putting them in the sky and letting them shine like stars. And then we'll build our little safe houses. And leave everyone else to deal with it. Because I've done my bit. They've had my lump of flesh. They've taken enough from me. So now, as of now, I'm stepping over that threshold. Is it Friday the 13th today? Oh, it is. Friday the 13th. So today I'm stepping over that threshold. So as of today, I will no longer be posting, look, see, I told you, because it's all there. It's all up there for everyone to see. From this point on, I'm only going to be posting about the positive things coming in my future waiting for me in Switzerland. And that beautiful man with his beautiful smiling face. And I'm telling you now, when he smiles, especially when I'm the reason why he smiles, his face lights up like the moon. In a sea of people, when his face smiles, it's like the moon in the sky. All you see is the moon in the sky. And yet, in a sea of people, when he smiles, all I see is his face. Because it's like a shining, beautiful, bright moon. And I'm just so in love with that face. I'm so in love with that moon. I love the moon. I have to be honest and say the moon is my favourite. I love the moon. I've loved the moon since I was a little girl. And I get to marry the Moon King. And I get to put a crown on his head that he deserves. The whole world is going to know his name on a level like even he can't fathom. And then we're going to get a whole new world. We're going to go back to kids mowing lawns, milk deliveries, milkmen delivering milk, factories being opened again. America's going to go back to, I've said this from day one, because I've been to the Motor City, and they start making cars again. America starts making good cars again. We go back to how it used to be. We go back to traditional values in a traditional world, but without the evil and corruption. So just don't be afraid. I know it seems bad now, and I know they're threatening us with all sorts. But just stand in your truth and don't lose sight of your morals and ethics, and stand together. Do not judge someone because of their race or their religion. No anti-Islam, no anti-Semitism, no anti-Christianity, none of that bollocks. Stand together. When the bombs are dropping, you have to rely on each other to survive. So rely on each other now. Stand together, have each other's backs. They want you being enemies with each other. They want you hating each other. When you hate each other, it gives them a reason to take us all down. But if you stand together, brother to brother, sister to sister, regardless of your religion, regardless of the colour of your skin or what part of the world you're from, if you stand together in morals and truth and integrity and honour, they can't touch you. Together we stand, divided we fall. And they are doing everything they can over the last 40, 50 years to divide us. And we can't let it happen. Do not judge a person by the colour of their skin or by their religion. Judge them by how they treat you. Because the truth of the matter is that 99.9% of Jewish people just want to be left alone, and they're good people, and they're hardworking, and they've been dragged into something they didn't deserve to be dragged into. But then the same can be said for the Muslims and the Christians. Exactly the same thing. They're all being used as pawns in a very dark and dangerous game, so that evil people can get away with doing evil things to animals and children, and the disabled, and the poor, and the weak, and the infirm. But there's more of us than there are of them. And if we stand together in truth and in honour and in valour, like with that South Korea thing, a few days, you can stop it all in a few days just by everybody linking arms and saying no more, we're done. you're out, bump. And then making sure that the next people you put in place live by the rules of your constitutions. And you will bring in new rules that say, if at any time we find any evidence of corruption or evil doing or nefarious acts or underhanded deals or under the table negotiations, and that we will have the right to get you out with immediate effect. And that's what I'm saying. This had to happen so that we can tear the old system down to bring in a new system which will eliminate corruption the second our nations get a hint of it. It's just when this is over, for every man, woman and child on all sides, Israel, Palestine, America, any serviceman, any civilian who has lost their lives, we need to remember them forever and forever be grateful. Because without them being martyred, we wouldn't be getting the new world that is slowly starting to seep through. And you can see it because of the fact that every nation on earth is rising up against Donald Trump. Everybody hates Donald Trump. And now all the eyes are slowly starting to turn towards Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron. So just remember what I wrote. Just remember what the Lord said. With Jeb gone, the Slime Queen tries to take its place, fails miserably in a humiliating way, which is what I wrote, and then everybody backs off and waits for their day of judgment. Military vehicles will turn up in countries all over Europe and start hauling these people off to military courts, because I've seen it. Because with Bill Gates in court, with Trump and all of that being taken to, the Hague getting involved, this all ends up, this whole genocide thing, the war crimes thing ends up leaking over into what they did with COVID. So then it all become, because that's all part of the conspiracy. COVID was all part of the conspiracy for world domination and for mass genocide, for war crimes. So that's what's coming. So this is my last message in regards to any of this. And from this point on, I'm keeping my eye on the prize, which is Switzerland, which is my foundation, which is the love of my life. Because I'm retired now, I'm hanging up my sword. And I'm putting on high heels and lipstick and tarting myself up for my man. I want to get once I get justice and I get that money, I'll get my teeth done, I'll get glasses so I can see again. I'll be able to look and dress how I want to, so that when I get on that plane and go and land at his feet, I'm looking exactly how I deserve to look for him. Because I want him to be proud to be seen on my arm. Just like I'm going to be proud to be seen on his. The warmth of the knowledge of him being there surrounds me in a all-encompassing glow of certainty and love and compassion and peace and harmony and serenity. He's brought a peace to my life that I've never had, ever. And it's intoxicating. It's hypnotic. It's mesmerizing. So he's put me under a spell too. And he's done nothing but play sweet music in my ear. The words, his language of love is put me under a spell. So again, my dating app, this is why when I get there, the first thing I have to do is make my dating app, because he's proof that it works, that the algorithm works. I just got to meet him. The man of my dreams. But I know he's there. I know he's waiting, because he calls me. He looks under the same stars and moon as I do. Just like in Rise of the Dragon Queen. She thinks he's the man in the moon, but it's just his reflection. And when he looks up, he sees her in the moon too. But it's just her reflection. Because they're mirrors of each other. So this is it. This is my final message. After this, it's all about my foundation. You got all the information you need now, and it's up for you guys to do the rest. Because I'm hanging up my sword. I get to finally hang up my sword and focus on the children and the love of my life. Just don't be scared. This is going exactly how God said it would. It's going exactly how I said it would. After this, we all get to start again. From Africa to the Middle East, to Europe, to Asia, to Oceania, to the North and South Americas, we all get to start again. It might not seem like it now, but you watch in a couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing a completely different world coming through. As the new world rises, so does spring. Perfect way to start the celebrations of Easter, eh? With a global resurrection. So I'm going to go, and I'll speak to you later. And if the man in the moon is out there listening, I'm coming home, baby. Get ready for me. I love you. Mwah.